In a small close-knit village nestled deep in the heart of West Africa, there lived a young woman named Kosiwa. Kosiwa was known throughout the village, not just for her radiant dark skin or her beautiful smile, but for her size. She was chubby, very chubby, with an oversized frame that had become the subject of much discussion among the villagers. But it wasn't just her size that set her apart, it was her insatiable appetite. From a young age, Kosiwa had always been a lover of food, whether it was the rich spicy jollof rice, the tender goat meat stew, or the sweet succulent mangoes that grew in abundance around the village. Kosiwa would eat with a zeal that was unmatched. Her mother, Ja, and father, Kwame, had always been generous with their portions, never wanting their only daughter to go hungry. But as the years went by, their generosity seemed to feed not just Kosiwa's belly, but a growing concern in their hearts. By the time Kosiwa was a young woman, she had become quite large. Her love for food had turned into a voracious hunger that seemed never to be satisfied. She would often be found in the kitchen, stirring a pot of soup or frying plantains, and even before the food was done, she'd be nibbling away. The villagers often joked about her appetite, but her parents were deeply worried. Ja would often sit with Kwame late into the night, whispering their concerns. Kwame, she'd say, "Our daughter is so big. How will she ever find a husband? What man will look past her size?" Kwame, though worried himself, would try to comfort his wife. "Ja, Kosiwa is a good girl. She is kind. She is hardworking. A man will see her for who she is, not just for her size." But even Kwame knew that finding a husband for Kosiwa would not be easy. In their village, women were often prized for their beauty, and beauty was often equated with splendor. The elders had begun to murmur, and their whispers often reached the ears of Kosiwa's parents. One day, after Kosiwa had eaten an entire pot of yam porridge by herself, Ja decided it was time to talk to her daughter. Kosiwa, she began gently. "You know your father and I love you very much, but we are worried about you. You eat so much, and you've grown so big. Will you find a husband if you continue like this?" Kosiwa looked at her mother, her large eyes brimming with tears. She knew her parents were worried, but she didn't know how to stop. "Mama, I love food. It makes me happy. But I don't want to make you and Papa sad." Ja took her daughter's hand. "Kosiwa, it's not about making us sad. We want you to be healthy, to live a long life, and yes, to find a good man who will love you. But you must learn to control your appetite. Eating isn't everything." Kosiwa nodded, wiping away her tears. She knew her mother was right, but the thought of giving up the food she loved so much filled her with dread. Still, she resolved to try for the sake of her parents and her future. In the weeks that followed her conversation with her mother, Kosiwa tried to adjust her habits. She had smaller portions and took long walks, but her love for food was still strong. It was hard for her to resist the comforting taste of a hearty meal. Her size remained much the same, and the villagers continued to talk, their whispers growing louder as time passed. One day, as Kosiwa was sitting outside her home, she overheard a group of women discussing her. "She'll never find a husband looking like that," one of them said. "Who would want to marry someone so large?" The words stung, but Kosiwa didn't let them show on her face. Instead, she smiled politely and went inside. But their comments stayed with her, gnawing at her confidence like a persistent itch. That night, as Kosiwa lay in bed, she thought about what she had had. She had always tried to be kind, to work hard, and to help her parents, but it seemed that all everyone saw was her size. She knew she couldn't change herself overnight, but she also knew that she couldn't keep letting others' opinions shape her self-worth. So Kosiwa made a decision. She would no longer let the villagers' words define her. She would live her life fully, embracing who she was. And if a husband came along, it would be because he loved her for her true self, not for what she thought she needed to become. Kosiwa began to focus on her own happiness, finding joy in the things she loved. She became more involved in the village, organizing festivals, helping with the harvest, and even teaching the children how to cook traditional meals. She found fulfillment in her work and in the smiles of those she helped. Her parents, Ya and Kwame, noticed the change in their daughter. She seemed happier, more at peace with herself, even though she hadn't lost any weight. They regretted that their worries about her finding a husband had caused her more pain than they had known, and they regretted making her feel less than perfect. One day, a group of elders came to Kosiwa's home to thank her for her contributions to the village. Kosiwa, one of the elders, said, "You have brought so much joy to our community. You are a true leader, and we are grateful for all you do." Kosiwa smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "Thank you," she said. "I am just trying to do my part." As time went on, the villagers began to see Kosiwa in a different light. They no longer focused on her size, but on her kindness, her intelligence, and her unwavering spirit. She became a beloved figure in the village, not because of her appearance, but because of the person she was. And though Kosiwa never married, she found love in many forms. In the friendship of the villagers, in the warmth of her family, and in the satisfaction of living a life true to herself. She learned that happiness didn't depend on meeting society's expectations, but on embracing who she truly was. Kosiwa's story became an inspiration to others, a reminder that worth is not measured by appearance or by the approval of others, but by the strength of one's character and the love one shares with the world. And so, Kosiwa lived a full and joyful life, knowing that she was more than enough just as she was.
Bada, bada.